welcome into the CHGO White Sox pregame show presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. We have a trade here on the CHGO White Sox pregame show.
Rick Hahn does it again.
Rick Hahn does it again. We'll talk about what he has done. We'll talk about Luis Roberts' injury. We'll preview the Royals and the White Sox game. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow that man, Herb Lawrence. At Hector23, he's the CHGO White Sox community leader. A very exciting day coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. Let's waste no time. Let's talk about the trade. Goodbye, Reese McGuire. It's been nice. Reese McGuire is going to Boston, and Jake Diekman of the Boston Red Sox is coming to Chicago. There is also a player to be named later that could also be cash considerations heading to the Red Sox. So full trade, McGuire, and player to be named later / cash considerations for Jake Diekman. Herb, how you feeling?
Feel good. They do need a left-handed reliever, and this guy wasn't on our radar, but the Boston Red Sox have seen the writing on the wall for their season, so they're unloading some people. And Jake Diekman, while not having a spectacular year this year, has had success in the recent past, actually. So we'll hopefully get here and they tweak whatever is wrong, find out what he does well, and he comes in and becomes a replacement for Tanner Banks at the top of the left-handed reliever chain because he's the only guy there.
Yeah, and Diekman was not on a radar this trade deadline, but he was in free agency. This was a guy that I thought the White Sox could have gone out and signed. And now with Aaron Bummer's injury, it's still determined when he'll come back, but the at least idea or closest, most recent rumor says September.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how confident they are that he can actually return in September. So I like the move because, A, you turned basically Zach Collins into Jake Diekman, and you were able... Jake freaking Diekman. Who said that?
Other Sean.
Oh, other Sean. Hahn turned Zach Collins into Jake freaking Diekman. I'm excited about it. This was a guy that I would have been excited if the White Sox signed this offseason, and again, we didn't have to watch Zach Collins play catcher for the White Sox in 2022. McGuire did a serviceable enough job. He was professional behind the plate. He tried his best on offense, and Diekman now is able to step into a role. He has played with Liam Hendricks. He's been on a playoff team before, the playoff team that knocked out the White Sox in 2020. So it's a guy that I'm excited about, a guy that I've liked, fastball slider mainly, that he goes off of from the left-hand side. He's a guy that I think I would feel comfortable with a win or with a loss. Like if the White Sox are currently winning, if the White Sox are currently losing, I like Diekman in either situation. The numbers haven't been great in July, but there are some ways that I think he can turn it around, especially, he's had some success in 2021 and 2020 and 2019 as well.
And kudos to Sebi Zavala for getting the call up when Yasmani Grandal got hurt and didn't just say, hey, I'm here just for when Yasmani comes back. No, he took over that backup job and took it from Reese McGuire, so Reese McGuire became expendable because they can't keep 3 catchers when Luis Robert comes back, which we'll get to in a second, and his return might be imminent. But Jake Diekman on the team, you saw Liam Hendricks has some quotes the other day about Rick Hahn asking him about certain players that he's played with before, and I think this is one of the people that Rick was asking Liam about, his former teammate out in Oakland. You said he was on the 2020 team that beat the White Sox in the ALDS. Guy is pretty reliable. I think that it's a good pickup, and I know the flurry of action of other teams, you see people getting actual game changers, people who are going to do well for playoff teams. So this seems a little bit like underwhelming, right. But it's a good move that the White Sox needed. It won't be earth-shattering, but it will improve the club. They're a better team today than they were yesterday.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the Hendricks quote. I feel like this kind of developed quickly for the Sox. You think about that moment that Liam talks about. He just likes that the front office is talking to guys to see how they fit. So I don't think that's just a day-to-day thing. I think they probably could have checked in again on Diekman to see how he was. I think that there was also connections to possibly Ramon Laureano or maybe some of the other A's guys that are currently there. But the fact that the Red Sox just traded Christian Vasquez, clearly they opened up a spot similar to where the White Sox were in. They needed somebody to step into a role that can do a professional job. Reese McGuire can do that, and he's still fairly young, so the Red Sox are going to give him the opportunity now in a a team without basically any expectations. Now Rhys is going to step in there, likely have a shot to win the starting job at the rest of the year for Boston, and they're retooling, and maybe Rhys will be a part of that retooled 2023 Red Sox team, but I think this might have developed quickly just because the White Sox probably saw that they needed left-handed relief pitching. Boston wasn't sure on whether they were going to be in or were going to be out, and the fact that Vasquez gets moved, it really just felt like, hey, we need a piece now. Diekman has been struggling. Let's get away from his contract and let's bring in McGuire in. I really felt like it might have been bang-bang here just because Rick has been kind of so restful on his laurel so far. The fact that this opened up, I think it was probably a great opportunity for him to strike. So I feel like this might have developed pretty quickly.
And the best part about this trade is that Rhys McGuire can get sweet, sweet revenge against those Toronto Blue Jays this second half of the season for KPW.
Yes. And he can go up to Toronto as well because he's vaccinated. So, yeah. Great.
I didn't check that if Diekman has actually vaccinated himself, if he made the trips up to Toronto, the T-Dot, the 6.
I think the only one that was not able to make the move up was Tanner Houck.
Okay.
So I think remembering back to when Boston went up to Toronto, I think that was the guy that did not make the move.
Boom. KPW with the assist there. Thank you.
Diekman is vaccinated. And Chef Seymour saying I'd rather have Soto or Chafin, but it is what it is. Chafin could still be a possibility. Them going out and getting, Jake Diekman, that could be a fifth inning guy, but Andrew Chafin's a more high leverage guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went out and got Chafin as well. I don't think that this just filling the left-hander reliever role is going to just fill that role. I think that they can have two left-handers in this bullpen. Jake Diekman can fill out that Tanner Banks role, and then Jose Ruiz's role can go to a guy like Andrew Chafin. So I don't think they're out on anybody right now. Rhys was a piece that was movable, probably going to be DFA'd once Robert was available to be activated. And, I think that it was just things lined up really well for both teams, exactly how the Rhys McGuire, Zach Collins thing lined up really well for them in the offseason. Going to Diekman, too, Vinny Duber said I think he had like a 2.93 ERA before July 9th, but things have kind of gotten rocky for him. The ERA's shot up to about 6, but this is a recent quote from NESN, and he talked about cleaning up the mechanics, and this is why I'm not too worried about his inflated ERA. Embarrassing was the word Diekman used after Boston's 10-5 loss to describe his brief outing at Tropicana Field. The 35-year-old also confidently explained why he hasn't been very sharp of late. It's definitely mechanical, Diekman told reporters per MLB.com. I think we know what part of the mechanics is. We're just working through it. And we've seen this with Joe Kelly, Kendall Graveman. Things are not right at certain moments. Guys who are veterans, guys who have gone through seasons, know how to fix their thing, fix their mechanics, and I think it's all about location for Diekman. If he's able to fix those mechanics, he's probably going to be able to locate better, and he's a very valuable reliever to have in your bullpen.
Yeah, and say what you will about this, what I'm going to say, but being in a pennant chase and being in a AL Central crown chase will probably excite him. Being in Boston, knowing they're ages away from the Yankees and all the rest of the teams there, even like the Baltimore Orioles have passed by them. So it might be something like, I got to be a professional and do my job, but also, it's, we're losing. It doesn't matter. We're going to Tropicana Field and giving up mad runs. We're giving up mad runs to the Toronto Blue Jays in that one game. So it's embarrassing. Maybe I don't give my all, but then he gets to here. It's like, okay, we're in a fight for the AL Central crown. Let's raise my level of play. And, yeah, that's something to be said about professionalism, but also that's human nature.
Right.
A person wants to compete at the highest level and compete for something, and now he in Chicago has to compete for this AL Central crown, so maybe he brings his A game here.
Well, and he's gassed up a little bit. I mean, KPW is saying Diekman was touching 99 earlier, and honestly, I mean, looking back probably to about mid-June, he was hovering around 95, and ever since he's been up around 96 or 97. So this is the type of guy the White Sox like as well. They like the slider, that type of movement, that type of profile, and they like high-velocity guys. Jake Diekman can touch 97, and as KPW said, can touch 99 as well. So it fits the mold of what typically the White Sox look to get in their reliever. So I like the deal. We'll see what ends up happening. Let's go to Luis Robert because Vinny Duber is out at Guaranteed Rate Field, and and Luis Robert was seen in the clubhouse. Vinny Duber was seen as well yesterday in the clubhouse, but Luis Robert was seen in the clubhouse yesterday per Scott Merkin. And Tony La Russa said today that it is unlikely Luis Robert will play in the current series against the Royals. Robert, who is here on the south side, is feeling better, according to the manager. It also was said that he will not be going back to Charlotte. It's unlikely that he'll be going back to Charlotte. And Tony followed up as well. Tia has been asked multiple times what is wrong with Luis Robert, and we still really don't know the full quote from Tony. If they're asking about the lineup that's up there, I'm the guy you should ask. But if they ask about what's happening on the health side, I wouldn't begin to. I'm more likely to make a mistake than to say something that makes sense. So Tony probably not able to make sense of it, which is probably why he'd make a mistake explaining it. It doesn't really seem like it's explainable. Maybe they're still running more tests on him, but it is a very precarious and mysterious situation the Sox are in with Robert.
I think it's on purpose. I think the White Sox know what's wrong with Luis Robert. They're not too worried about his ailment. And, I mean, this one they're saying is just a cold off of this, and now he's just not going to be playing. I don't think there's something serious wrong with him. Otherwise, they would not, this mystery right here that they're doing wouldn't serve anybody well. I think they know, just don't want to tell. And that's fine. It's their prerogative to say he had lightheadedness and keep it at that level. So I'm sure there would be no way you would play him in a game if they didn't know what his ailment was in the initial part of it. So they're just giving him an out to say he had lightheadedness, he blurred vision, he'll be back out there when he's ready to play. Because if he had something more serious, there'll be no reason to do this subterfuge. And that quote right there with Tony La Russa tells me that he knows about it, and he's been told about it. And to explain it will be hard for him because he's not a doctor, he's not a trainer, he's a lawyer by trade.
Right. I mean, we still didn't see any quotes, though, that said the blurred vision or lightheadedness cleared up as well. So, I mean, I'm just saying, even to push back, like, I understand your point. Maybe they're hiding information, but I don't know. I hope the guy's okay at least. Like, I mean, that's the most important thing. Again, like Vinny's been mentioning it, it's not even like a baseball injury. It's not like he's hurt his hamstring or, he hurt his back on a swing. Like, this is a very odd situation. They haven't said he passed any tests. It's not like he did great in the rehab assignment down in Charlotte that he passed with flying colors, and then he ran into an illness and then came back into Chicago. So it's just very mysterious right now, and it's really up to just speculation at this point because Tony's not able to give you a straight answer at this point, and it's not like they're talking to the trainers on a daily basis, and maybe you'll get some clarity from Rick Hahn tomorrow because he's likely going to address the media either pre or post trade deadline.
I would probably think on Wednesday because the trade deadline being so late in the day at 5 o'clock, already you're probably trading up until that point, and then it'll be way too late for the media to get assembled. I mean, they're there already, but, to get some information out by the masses. I think on Wednesday before the game, Rick Hahn will speak. And it's a day game, too, on Wednesday, so it's even more advantageous for them to get the information out before the game starts and then has the whole day of cycling, especially if they have a good person there they picked up. If they don't have anybody, they might do that shit like on Thursday.
Hey, they might do it tonight. Hey, maybe Jake Diekman's it, and Rick Hahn could talk about it. We'll ask Vinny Duber later on the post-game show what the plan is for Rick Hahn tomorrow. Let's talk about the White Sox game tonight, and our guy KPW is going to be happy because apparently it's Daniel Lynch starting, so let's see who the White Sox are throwing out against Daniel Lynch. Leading off for the White Sox is Tim Anderson
Can't say
playing
his name.
Shortstop. Who?
Daniel Lynch.
Oh, knock it up. Yeah, he's not Voldemort. He's a bum. Batting second is Yohan Moncada playing third base.
Go.
Batting third, Andrew Vaughn playing right field. Batting fourth, Jose Abreu playing first base. Batting fifth, Eloy Jimenez in left field. Batting sixth, Yasmani Grandal at DH. Batting seventh, Leury Garcia at second base. Batting eighth, Sebi Zavala at catcher. Batting ninth, Adam Engel in center field. And Aaron Judge apparently just hit another homer, so he's got a double and a homer today. That guy keeps going. What are you thinking of?
Rich get richer.
Right? What are you thinking of the lineup? This is the second straight game that Reese is not catching Michael Kopech, mainly because he's now in Boston. But you got Sebi, who earned the spot, and he's getting the start today.
It's good. It's good to see that we have probably our strong lineup out there, all except for Josh Harrison not at second base, and then our center fielder being on the outs. That lineup looks good to me. I want this lineup to stay as steady as it can be because I love to have Yohan Moncada at the top of the lineup. The same thing with Andrew Vaughn, but they keep on moving Andrew, and the other day he had that bad game. Excuse me. The other day, and I don't know what was wrong with him. Maybe the Laz Diaz strike zone got hit in his head, but I need him to rebound today. I need him to be good, and I feel the best about our number 4 hitter.
Well, and I'm surprised. Yeah, I mean, it's August Abreu, and that's probably we're burying the lead here. Just to real quick talk about Andrew. It was a weird game yesterday, absolutely. But I'm also surprised to see just with how much he's been struggling, Aloy not up at third. I'm surprised they're not giving that switch. So it's good to see Vaughn at least still have confidence from his manager, him batting third. So maybe they believe he's able to turn it around. And him going up against lefty, he's been better against lefties throughout his career. So we'll see if that continues as well. But August Abreu, you beat me to it on our click to pick. But
I did.
This is a guy that it's typically an 800 OPS plus or better in the month of August, 900 and basically creeping up on 1,000 career OPS in the month of August. He owns this month. I think he averages about 7 home runs and like 21 RBIs in this month. What are you expecting from Jose? Does it need to be a big month for him?
I think the typical month, the numbers you just said, over 300, on base 36% of the time or higher, and he slugs like 600 in the month of August. 600. The man is a champion in this month. He sees it. He wakes up in the morning. He's like, man, air smells great. Breakfast was good. August is my month. It's awesome to see that he just turns it on. We saw yesterday. He thought it was August on July 1st, and he started hitting on yesterday. He's going to continue. At the end of the month, we'll tally up what he did, and we'll say, man, August Abreu is a thing. And then we're going to turn the calendar in September, strike that out. That's going to be August 2. Yeah, like August 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right, and we'll trick him and just say that there's like how many? There's still the same amount of days in September and August.
I think August has 31 and September has 30.
So
somebody's got
that
rhyme. That rhyme that how you remember
August
30.
Has 31 days. So does June. Whatever. I don't think June has 30 days. Anyways,
there's no way to find out.
No, there's no way to find out.
Says.
There's no way to find out, and there's no way to learn. It's not like I was in school for 12 months learning the days of the week. Let's go to the Royals lineup and see who they're throwing out tonight.
Bad.
It is bad. It's always bad. Leading off, MJ Melendez in right field. He is one of their top catching prospects, and he was called up when Salvi Perez was hurt. Now he's been moved out to right field.
31 in August, 30 in September. We're right.
Thank you. He's got some pop and power, and he's leading off. Aaron Judge, when they were playing a series on Friday, Melendez hit one out to that cheap right center field, and Judge went up and robbed it. So Melendez starts off their lineup with some power. Whit Merrifield at second, playing second base. Batting third, Salvi Perez returning from injury, and he's been good in the past series. I think he had like 3 home runs against the Yankees. He's catching today for the Royals. Batting fourth, Vinny Pasquantino. He's the designated hitter for the Royals. Batting fifth, Hunter Dozier in left field. Batting sixth, Nick Pratto, first baseman.
It's a made-up person.
It's a made-up person, but he has a very unique look. Guy's got a unibrow. Batting seventh, Michael A. Taylor out in center field. Batting eighth, Nicky Lopez, local product, out in third base. And batting ninth, Michael Garcia playing shortstop. I want to say Michael Franco, just because I think he was a former Royal. But
he was.
Michael Franco. What do you make of the lineup? I know you're saying nothing too special, but we know Salvi can hurt us.
That's what Chi-Town Fanboy says. Salvi's going to have a big series, unfortunately. I think the White Sox have got the scouting report on Salvi this year. Last year, unfortunately, they didn't, and he was hurting everybody. He was crushing the ball to the tune of 48 home runs for Salvi Perez to set the single season record for catchers. I don't think the White Sox will be throwing fastballs in the zone to Salvi Perez. At least that's the memo. Don't do it. He'll swing at sliders outside the zone, guys. Just don't give him anything hittable. And that lineup for the most part, that MJ Melendez, I think he had a couple home runs up here versus the White Sox when he first came up. And so he's kind of deadly at the beginning of the lineup. And then, of course, Naperville Central's own Nicky Lopez. What can you say about him? Except for he went to Naperville Central.
He usually gets on base versus the White Sox. Not so much this season. That's why he's batting eighth, but he's been struggling. And KPW mentioned Nick Pratto as one of their top prospects. Melendez led the minors last year with home runs. Pratto hit 36. So they had the top 2 home run hitters in the minor leagues last year. Rusted with a super chat. Shout out to him. $1.99 says, oh, well, I got to do the Hawk voice. I love August Abreu. Yes. Mercy. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. And Josh Fiore asking, what do you guys think about the idea of Hahn going after local product Nicky Lopez from KC? I've heard them attached to Whit Merrifield. I think those rumors have stopped. But with Nicky Lopez, it just feels like he's a guy who's cost control, and I don't think Kansas City would want to give him up. And I don't think he's proven himself to even earn a spot in the White Sox lineup.
He was pretty good last year. He had good numbers. He can glove it, can hit it. This year, not as strong, but yeah, Nicky Lopez, I think is long for Kansas City. So I think that'll be a pipe dream. I don't think they would trade a cost-controlled, decent bat up to a division rival like that.
And I mean, they've held on to Whit Merrifield for so long. I mean, they're not really the most aggressive team when it comes to selling. So, I really don't see Nicky Lopez being a possibility. All right, let's talk about that damn Daniel Lynch because he's the starter today. It was supposed to be Brad Keller. Brad Keller is going to pitch tomorrow for the Royals if he's not traded. And then on Wednesday, it's supposed to be Brady Singer. So Daniel Lynch gave us one hell of an outing back
KPW
on
did.
April 26th. Yeah, KPW did. Our good friend Connor from Toronto said that Daniel Lynch was going to go 6 shutout innings against the White Sox on April 26th, and he did that. 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. One of the more frustrating games in that White Sox April stretch, the fact that they were going up against a guy that struggles so much with control, a left-hander, and they were able to do nothing against him. What are you expecting tonight?
Revenge. Sweet, sweet revenge. Long-lasting revenge against this guy who came out and stymied the White Sox. Now they have a little bit better hitting now. Yasmani, I think, is fully healthy. Same thing with Yohan. We got Aloy back, it looks like, finally, too. And, yes, Timmy struggled a couple of bats, but he got 2 hits yesterday also. So I think Daniel Lynch is up for a run into a buzzsaw today. He's going to get sweet, sweet revenge like he deserves. No shutout this time. We're going to see him as the pitcher that he is. And I said this versus all the bum pitchers the White Sox just played against, and the A's and the goddamn Colorado Rockies. They didn't do a damn thing against those people.
No, and it's tough to look at Daniel Lynch and say the White Sox shouldn't beat him. Again, he's a lefty. They've been so good against lefties, but they've also been so bad at home, and he has had success against them before. And he throws strikes, which is the main thing that is good for the White Sox. If you're able to throw it in the right zones against the Sox, they have proven that they will drive balls into the ground consistently. So his stuff isn't that great. He is prone to a decent amount of walks. The White Sox should be able to hit him. I will be so frustrated if they don't hit him like they did last time. They hit 8 ground balls against Daniel Lynch the last time they faced him. They only hit 5 fly balls, so ball and air will be extremely important today.
Like yesterday's game, you're kind of pissed at the White Sox not attacking the Oakland pitcher.
Right, and they put the ball in the air, though.
Eventually, they got 4 runs off the guy.
Abreu lifted that one. Sebi hit a ground rule double that probably would have gone out if it was, pulled more, and Aloy smashed that one to right center. So the ball was carrying, and they were able to get some lift yesterday. So, hitting the ball in the air is going to be massively important for the White Sox today against Daniel Lynch. Let's look at the numbers and give you the numbers for Kopech and Lynch as well. And just to say, too, the top 3 games, or top 4 games that Daniel Lynch has given up 10 or more fly balls, he's given up, I think, 6 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 6 earned runs, 3 earned runs, no earned runs, 2 earned runs. So he's at least can get 2 earned runs off of him if you're hitting fly balls. So again, ball in air is important. 71 and 1/3 innings for Daniel Lynch this year, 5.05 ERA, 80 hits allowed, 73 Ks. 33 walks surrendered, an ERA plus of 81. MLB average is 100. You want to be above 100. That is better. 88 and 1/3 innings for Kopech. 3.16 ERA, 62 hits allowed, 78 strikeouts, and 45 walks. An ERA plus of 125. What are you expecting from Magic Mike?
I'm expecting him to come out and attack. Like the article, and you guys should go to allchgo.com and check out Jared Willis' article about Kopech's spiritual journey and his journey as a person that doesn't want to be like idolized, and he thinks that you should be looking more for just fulfillment and such. The article is really good to read. And so that maturity as a person has seen the growth as a pitcher too. The guy feels like he's filling out and he's pitching with stuff that is not his normal 98 plus, is his normal break on his curveball. So he's learning how to actually pitch. And this will be a team that he'll be going against often in his career. So it's time to get comfortable versus these Kansas City Royals and understand how to get these guys out, especially with the young players like Melendez and Pratt? What is his name?
Prada.
Pascatino. Yeah, Pascatino in the lineup. Nicky Lopez, Naperville Central Zone. he's got to get used to getting these guys out, because this will be probably a 3-4 times a year start that he has to go against them, and they'll be adjusting to him every start that he gets. And so today we need him to start off versus these guys and shut them down.
Fastball velocity's been up for Michael Kopech, which is a great sign to see, and I think as long as he has that, he's been proven to be nearly unhittable. I mean, again, you see 88 in the third innings, and I think he's still under 70 hits allowed. So hitting Michael Kopech is difficult. This team does make good contact. They don't strike out a lot, and last time he faced them, he didn't have a ton of strikeouts, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he went under his strikeout props on PointsBet. And the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. If you do that right now, you get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. But that's not it. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you can get a free shirt of your choice from a CHGO locker. That's $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, and a free T-shirt from a CHGO locker, all for making more than a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. I know our guy Save Ferris just bought a Southside Bias shirt. That was great to see. If you're looking to buy some CHGO merch, this is a fantastic, fantastic deal for you. And I heard a rumor that there might be a new shirt, or we might be working on a new White Sox shirt. It's a rumor. I heard about it. I don't know. I can't give away too much, but just throwing it out there. So if you have any questions, you can email pointsbet@allchgo.com. We'll help you out. This is a great time to take advantage, because PointsBet's your home for live in-play betting, and it just got even better. If you see an edge in the game you're watching, if your favorite team is primed for a comeback, don't just watch the game. Bet along with it live. You download the PointsBet app right now and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. But again, it's time to elevate your live betting game. What are you waiting for? It's time to elevate your live betting game. Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life at PointsBet. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. Herb, the funny thing about reading is it's right here in front of me, and sometimes I just can't do it. So.
But also, I was in your position on Friday. That microphone stand gets in the way of, like, when you're reading side to side. And so it's hard to, pick up where you are.
I go cross-eyed.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I go cross-eyed and read it, and it's really good. Anyways, and thank you, Schlesh Poppy, for saying very good read. I really do appreciate it. You guys just can't say eyeball emojis in there. Is that to the T-shirt?
Are we trading somebody?
Someone get traded?
That's to the T-shirts.
All right. Well,
I was
thank you,
are we
Jake.
trading somebody, Jake?
Glad you're getting hyped up for the T-shirts. And the new shirt does not say Sean spells his name wrong. It says Sean spells his name wrong. Okay, Sean? Herb, what are your predictions for tonight?
I'm predicting that the White Sox win 4-3 in a close game.
Okay.
They get to Daniel Lynch, and KPW said 6 innings and 3 runs. I'll take that hell.
So you're going with it. I mean, you said 4-3. So.
I'll take that shit. The White Sox win the game, and August Abreu is the main reason, because he is in his month, and he's going to show out for the home crowd today. Jose Abreu is my click to pick.
I like it. You beat me to it, so you got the better pick. I'm going to go with Eloy Jimenez. He's obviously seems to be coming around, which is good to see. And I just have a feeling Daniel Lynch's fastball that's sitting at 91 is going to either sit up there at the middle of the plate, maybe high hanger he's taking deep, or maybe he's one of the little floater cement mixers that hang up for a slider, and he takes them deep. It was a good, little combination they had yesterday. They got 4 runs from Abreu hitting a home run and Eloy Jimenez hitting a home run, so I mean, why not run it back again? It sounds pretty good to me. Let's go 4-1 White Sox. They did it yesterday. Maybe Michael Kopech has a dazzling outing. I think he's at least limit them getting on base. So I like Michael Kopech tonight. I like the Sox to win 4-1, and I like Eloy to go yard again.
And Jarrett, if I had the power to jinx things, I would not waste it on baseball games. I would be a billionaire right now.
There you go.
I have never won the Powerball or the Mega Millions.
Yes, I have never been a billionaire and would hate to be one by the end of the week. That'd be horrible. Also, we got one more final thing for you. Quotation from Lucas Giolito about Michael Kopech. You mentioned Jared's article. Members at All CHGO can go check it out, or anybody can go check it out. It's a post that's unlocked. And a lot of interesting quotes from Michael Kopech on growing as a person. And this is Lucas Giolito talking about Michael Kopech and his teammate. He says, as far as maturity and growth, not as a baseball player, but as a human being, he's shown the highest levels of that, and I've seen it over the last few years of my friends. He's been through a lot, and he's learned for every step of the way. It's been awesome to see doing what he's doing on the field, knowing that he's been down. So it's great to see that Michael Kopech, this mature player, he seems to be pretty composed this year for a guy going through this large change on the field, becoming a starter. Seems like he's handled it very well. 3.16 ERA, you can't be mad at that. He's getting results, and it does seem like stepping away from social media and learning more about himself and the person that he wants to be for his kids. Really seems like a real mature young man. So that was a great read from Jared and really great insight into the White Sox clubhouse there.
I'm very happy for the young man because he does seem like he's grown from the incident he had with the minor league player down in Boston when he was a minor leaguer to the guy now, not looking for the spotlight, looking just for fulfillment in life from his family, for his woman he's with, and his kids that he has.
That's going to do it for the CHGO White Sox post-game show. Do it for the kids, Michael, all right? If you go out and throw a gem, it's for the kids. And if you had a bad game, them's the breaks. Anyways.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. Thanks for watching the CHGO White Sox pregame show. We'll join you after for the CHGO White Sox postgame show here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Vinny Duber will be joining us from Garrett Great Field, and we'll have all the reaction that you need for this White Sox-Royals game, and hopefully we have more trade talk for you as well. We'll talk a little bit more about Jake Diekman, the White Sox newest acquisition, and we'll talk hopefully about some other trades that the White Sox made, because Rick Hahn better not make Jake Diekman his only acquisition of the 2022 trade deadline, but we'll see after the final out is made here on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. And thank you to Stephen Nicholas for his production, and appreciate everyone hanging out with us in the live chat. Go White Sox.